I will be talking about pi.
Pi.
Not that kind of pi. Pi the irrational number.
What's that?
Well, pi is a mathematical constant whose value is the ratio of the circle's circumference to its diameter.
Oh, yes, and the use of pi dates back to 1900 BC with ancient Egypt.
And pi is a repeating decimal.
That's interesting. Did you know Pi Day is celebrated on the 14th of March every year because pi equals 3.14?
Yes. And there are many different applications for pi, which we'll discuss later on.
Now we are going to be looking into the history of pi.
Pi has been around for 4,000 years.
Ancient Babylonians calculated pi as 3 by taking 3 times the square of its radius.
The Egyptians approximated the value of pi as 3.1605.
One of the greatest ancient mathematicians, Archimedes of Syracuse, approximated pi by inscribing polygons on the inside and outside of a circle. He also proved that the more sides the better the circle, therefore a closer approximate.
And here we have an example of his method in use.
A brilliant Chinese mathematician calculated the value of the ratio of the circumference of a circle to its diameter to be 355 over 113.
Mathematicians began using the Greek letter in the 1700s. This was introduced by William Jones in 1706. The use of the symbol was popularized in 1737.
Wow, isn't that interesting?
Oh, yes, it is. And here we have a timeline of pi, which dates back all the way to 240 BC, where Archimedes found pi to be 22 over 7.
All the way to today, where pi is still developing and getting larger.
How is mathematics used in pi?
Well, pi is an irrational number, which means it cannot be accurately represented as a fraction.
And pi is a transcendental number, which means the number is not algebraic.
It is the ratio of a circumference of a circle to its diameter. It doesn't matter how big or small the circle is, the ratio stays the same. Properties like this that stay the same when you change other attributes are called constants. Because it's so easily observed, you can measure it with a piece of string. Let's take a closer look into what pi is actually used for.
Today, it is useful for finding measurements of circles, cylinders, or spheres. For example, circumferences, areas, or volumes.
It is also used to calculate the amount of water in a pipe or the diameter of a pipe.
And it can be used to find the volume of a fuel in a tank or a water tank.
Isn't that interesting? But the main use of pi is to calculate the area of a circle. Pi times the radius squared.
So what really is the impact of pi today?
Well, pi was used by the Egyptians to build their pyramids. The vertical height of a pyramid has the same relationship to the perimeter of its base as the radius of a circle has to its circumference. And as we know, these pyramids are still standing today.
In the 20th century, pi was used across many areas such as number theory, the chaos theory, and probability.
Today, NASA uses pi to calculate the trajectories of spacecrafts to determine the size of craters and the dimensions of planets outside the solar system.
And professionals such as engineers, archaeologists, and construction workers use pi. To wrap it up, here is a small slice of the numbers in pi.
Wow, that's a lot of numbers. All this talk about pi has made me hungry.
Let's go get some.
Thanks for watching, guys.